Hey there, fellow car nerds. Welcome back to MG Guy Vintage Vehicles. Greg here with a new Pro Street Friday video. You'll find links in the video description below for each of these vehicles. Alright, enough talk. Let's get on with today's Pro Street vehicles for sale. Okay, welcome back to the Pro Street Friday videos. I'm going to try and get these up and rolling again. Now, next week I may not have one as I'm away for the week on vacation, but after that, hopefully we'll keep things running. Let's get started with this 1952 Kaiser Henry J, listed for $20,999 US in Clackamas, Oregon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. It has an automatic transmission, and from the seller's description, 1952 Kaiser Henry J Pro Street, new 383 stroker motor, brand new rebuilt turbo 400, 2x4 box frame, full roll cage with swing out bars, street legal, tubbed out narrowed rear end, no trades. Up next, we have this 1972 Dodge Dart, listed for $26,000 Canadian in Clarington, Ontario. It's been driven 136,000 kilometers and has an automatic transmission. From the seller's description, 72 Dart Pro Street, Pro-Charged Slant 6, 904 transmission, 3500 stall converter, Ford 9-inch rear end, 430 gears, 4-link rear suspension, new front rotors, pads and calipers on front, rotors and pads on back like new. Sorry, no trades. Alright, here we have a 1953 Ford Anglia, listed for $49,000 US in Santa Clarita, California. It's been driven 2,639 miles and has a manual transmission. From the seller's description, 1953 Ford Anglia Pro Street, all steel body, blown Chevy 383 stroker motor with a B&M supercharger, Muncie 4-speed manual transmission with a McLeod clutch, custom headers with polished stainless steel exhaust, complete custom powder coated M&S chassis, runs and drives great. Okay, up next we have this 1966 Chevrolet Nova, listed for $55,000 US in Flat Rock, Michigan. It is an automatic transmission and from the seller's description. 1966 Pro Street Nova, 406 cubic inch blueprinted, BDS 671 blower, two 750 CFM Holley Proform carbs, power glide with trans brake and oil cooler, 8-point cage. And here we have a 1934 Chevrolet Coupe, listed for $45,000 US in Bixby, Oklahoma. It is an automatic transmission and from the seller's description. 1934 Chevrolet Coupe, hand-built 4-inch box tube chassis with a steel body, Willwood 4-piston disc brakes and Ford Mustang front disc brakes, turbo 400 transmission, completely rebuilt big block Chevy 540 cubic inch engine, 2 Pro System carburetors, nitrous blower with new solenoids and purge system, only 175 miles on the engine, asking $45,000, am open for partial or full trades, 68 to 72 Camaros, 68 to 72 Chevelle, Dodge Hellcat, AC Cobra. Alright, another Chevy in the order here, a 1956 Chevrolet Custom Resto Mod, listed for $62,500 US in Canoga Park, California. It's been driven 1,994 miles and has an automatic transmission. From the seller's description, 1956 Chevrolet 2-door Pro Street, dual exhaust, powered by a 383 Chevrolet engine with Vortec heads, high-performance Holley 750 CFM double pumper carb. The trans is a 700R4, forward posi traction 9-inch rear end with 410 gears, has always run extremely well, and does not leak or overheat. Alright, here we have a 1968 Chevrolet Chevelle, listed for $60,000 US in Monroe, Washington. It's been driven 50,000 miles and has an automatic transmission. From the seller's description, 1968 Chevelle Pro Street, narrowed posi 9-inch Ford rear end with 411 gears, powered by a 496 big block Chevy Scat Stroker, twin 850 Demon carbs, turbo 400 transmission with a 3600 stall converter. Not interested in trades. Okay, here we have a 1956 Volvo PV, listed for $11,500 US in Everton, Missouri. It has an automatic transmission, and from the seller's description, 1956 Volvo PV 2-door, square tube chassis, Mustang 2 front end with coilovers and 2 bay arms, ladder bar rear suspension, small block Chevy with 671 blower, TH400, now has a Hurst quarter stick shifter instead of the B&M pictured, 9-inch rear end with 389 gears, fully tubbed. Alright, here we have a 1941 Willys Coupe, listed for $75,000 US in Tampa, Florida, from the seller's description. Listing this car for a friend in Wisconsin, 1941 Willys Coupe, glass, even trades or offers, 502 GM crate, turbo 400 trans, Ford 9-inch 373 posi rear, Willwood disc brakes, trade for late model Corvette or AC Cobras, street rods, hot rods, pro street or factory, street driven only, 50s or 60s muscle, listing price is flexible except for trades. And bringing up the rear, we have this 1970 Chevrolet Corvette, listed for $45,000 US in Perrysburg, Ohio. It has manual transmission, and from the seller's description, all aluminum Scott, Shafirov 555 block. This is a legitimate 10-second street car, 93 octane pump gas, regularly street driven since 1987, Demon 1050 CFM Dominator carb, Jericho 4-speed manual transmission, Dana 60 rear end with 488 gear, 10-point roll cage with G-Force racing harness. Okay, so that's it for today's vehicles. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are enjoying my content, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below or using the link in the channel details below the video. For about the price of a cup of coffee per month, you will not only be helping me produce these videos, but you'll have access to each and every video before they go live on YouTube, usually around 24 hours ahead of the videos going live. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.